Ready for lie down now. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Just do the fuel 3045.
What I'd like to work on today is all Q&A.
Okay.
Just questions and answers. Just constant questions and answers, getting me into that of trying to get knowledge what I think you might already know, instead of putting it in, instead of telling you. I just want to ask, why would you do that? How would you do that? When would you do that? Trying to get that type of question.
Okay. Do you mean that in terms of just general driving around, or in terms of setting the scene?
Just general driving about on different stuff, junctions, roundabouts, anything. Just me asking you a question, thinking in my head what would I do, and then asking you a question to see whether I can get out of you what I'm thinking in my head. Does that sound a bit daft?
No, I think I'll just to give me a bit of clarification. So, what's your questioning for? Is it just to find out what's going on in my head, or is it to give you the answer that you want?
No, I don't. No, I definitely. I do not want to go that way.
Okay.
I want to. The way I want to ask the questions is to how you feel about it.
Okay.
No, I don't. And I don't want you to think about multiple stuff. I just want, say, if we're approaching a junction, it might just be like, do you think this is an open or closed junction? And you'll say closed. Why do you think it's a closed junction?
All right. Okay.
Yeah, stuff like that, just to get.
So just general driving around stuff that you would do. Doesn't really relate to whether it's, if you're asking the question in a particular way, it doesn't matter if it's a phase 1 or a phase 2 student, does it? Because it's just, you're just talking to a human being. Tell me what your thoughts are here. And if you're not given instruction, you cannot be accused of over-instructing.
Yeah. That's what I want to do. I want to try and do it like what you said, where there's, don't try and instruct. Don't do any instruction, just try and... It might be difficult because you're not a learner. Is it difficult to do that?
No, I'll behave like a learner would. I won't do anything outlandish.
Because I feel as though if I'm still learning, and if you start putting instruction, I'll end up going on that mode again. I want to get that feel as where... I want to get to that point where I think, you know what, I'm not giving hardly any instruction and these people are learning, and it makes me feel good as well. I want to do it that way, but...
Okay. So in terms of me driving around, if there's a potential hazard, if you don't talk to me about it, do you want me to develop it so that it potentially could go wrong?
What, you purposely make a mistake?
Yeah, I'll approach something if you're asking me the questions and I'm giving you the information that would perhaps require some action from you, or some corrective. You know, if you're saying, look ahead, what do you see? If you're looking at some traffic lights and I tell you that I see a stray dog, then there's something up, isn't there? So, is it that end of listening that you're looking at working on?
Yeah, I want to listen. If I see some traffic lights ahead, what we're coming up to, and they've been on green, if I say to you, oh, what do you think could happen to them lights? And you might say, I don't know. Okay,
so sort of, if I've got this right, you want to basically use some question and answer technique to use for, if you like, fault prevention.
Yeah, similar to that, yeah.
Okay, when you say similar, just if you can clarify for me, that'd be cool.
It's not, trying to prevent you from making faults, but just getting an idea of what you're thinking about in car, how you feel.
Okay, so right, okay, I've got you. I think
it might not be me coming across right, but I can remember when I was learning and the instructor was telling stuff to me, and I was just saying out what I thought he might have wanted me to say.
Right.
Whereas
you just want to find out what's going on inside my head. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. And how will you know? How will we measure whether you've been successful at it? Avoid casualty.
If I keep asking it, I think if we had that talk between us and questions like a conversation, I probably feel as though I'm getting somewhere.
Okay.
But if I say something, you say, I don't know what you mean, don't know what you're on about, then I know that it's not right.
Okay. Well, should we have a play with that for 10 or 15 minutes and see how it goes? Then we can review.
Yeah.
Righty ho. I mean, I know it's fairly open-ended and it's not anything that's really contained in a PST and stuff, but these are the key skills, aren't they?
Because I didn't really have a P. Well, I could have done reverse park.
Could have done. Well, how about then? If we assume that might okay, if we set the scene, if you want to do that, we could say that I was due to do reverse park today, and I've got to drive us to an area that's where we can do the reverse park. You're still going to have keep an eye on me and have a chat with me on the way there, aren't you?
Yeah.
So we'll do that in 2 lumps. We'll do the drive there first, and then see how it goes. Revisit it if we need to, or if not, then we'll just continue and.
Yeah, well, we'll drive to reverse park area in Chequerfield. We'll do Q&A,
Okay.
and when we get there, then we'll just talk.
So what sort of driving would you expect from somebody who's at that stage?
Reverse park.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask them if they've done pedestrian lights and busy junctions. See how they are with that first.
I mean, we've drifted a little bit away from your initial plan, but that's fine. That's okay. Would it suit your purposes better than if we ran it like that was the deal here? That I've come along for a lesson on reverse parking. Your last instructor can't make it. He's indisposed for some reason. I'm not sure why. And your office has sent you along to do that lesson.
Yeah, we'll do it like that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to put this down here, so I'm not going to read off it, but just in case I just need to refresh my mind.
Read off it if you wish. It doesn't matter at this stage. Okay, so I say that my name's Billy.
Yeah.
I was due to have a lesson on reverse park today. It's the last thing. I've got my test in a couple of weeks, and it's the last thing we were due to do. My instructor cannot make it today, so they've organised for you to come along and do that. I'm familiar with the layout and controls of this car.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Good afternoon, Billy.
Hi, Darren.
My name's Darren.
Oh. Hi, Darren.
Do you mind if I call you Billy?
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I hear that your instructor can't make it today.
Yeah.
So you've got me for today, but don't worry about it, because I'm sure we'll be fine.
All right.
I hear that. Well, your instructor got in touch with me, and he said that you were interested to learn how to reverse park.
Yeah, that's what he said we were going to do today.
Yeah. Are you still happy to go ahead with that?
Yeah. It's the last piece of the jigsaw, if you like, really.
Is there anything that could be worrying you? Is there anything in your mind what you're thinking? I don't know.
I don't think so.
No.
I think. Yeah. No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah. What were you like on your other manoeuvres? Turn it road and.
They were all right.
reverse?
Yeah, I think they were all right. Yeah, I thought they were fine.
Yeah. Can you remember them 3? Can I just break out a roll there?
Go on.
I forgot what sentence to say. It started off so well, that. That control, observation and accuracy. I'm trying to... How can I phrase that to you?
Was there anything wrong with the way you just said it?
No.
Think about what it is that you're trying to achieve.
I'm wanting to...
You want to know what's in here.
Yeah.
So think about a question you could ask that would give you that. So then just what we'll do is I'll go back in a roll and just rewind a little bit and take a run at it.
Yeah.
Back in roll.
Right then, Bob, you still happy to do reverse park?
Yeah.
And you're happy with your other manoeuvres you've got?
Yeah, I thought they were fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you remember saying controlled observations and accuracy? Has anybody ever said that to you? In your manoeuvres?
Yeah. It was yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell me how you interpret control? What's that mean?
Well,
have you got any idea?
Is that doing it at like the right speed?
Yeah. At what speed would you do these manoeuvres at?
It's less than walking pace, isn't it?
Yeah. Why do you think you need to do it that slow?
Well, because you're kind of in the way, aren't you? You're stuck out in the road and stuff.
You've got more time as well.
Well, yeah. Time to get it done, yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel the observations were? These manoeuvres, all right?
I thought they were fine, yeah.
Yeah. And the accuracy?
I thought that was fine too.
Right then. Have you ever driven car from this position here?
Oh yeah, this is where we normally start the lessons, yeah.
Yeah. Because we've got a few pedestrian crossings and busier junctions to get through before we get to the training area. Are you all right with them?
Yeah, we've covered them, yeah.
You don't want any help from me from them? You're fine?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah.
I think I'm all right.
And what's your aspirations for this lesson by end? What do you, in your mind, what do you want to achieve? What would be a good outcome for you?
Well, if I could kind of get it done on my own without any help.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, that's what we're here for, isn't it?
All right, okay.
Yeah. So when you're ready then, Billy.
Look, I'll just pop on a roll there.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
I'm getting it. I'm getting it slowly. And there's going to come a time when it's just going to click, and I know I'm going to be quite
So
good at it.
just take a moment to review the conversation we just had. Is there anywhere where, if I wanted to, I could trip you up?
Well, I wasn't thinking that, but there's a part.
It is a bit, isn't it? Tell you what, let's just. It's not very eco friendly, but let's just pop a little bit.
I think
of
there's
colour
a part
out.
where I was going on a little bit and asking, because I asked you for the previous manoeuvres, you said, I'm totally fine, and you said it with total confidence. And then I went over it again and said, what you like with your control? What you like with reservation? You've already told me you.
What made
do
you
it.
go over it again? What gave you that, the idea to do that?
It's that thing again, you think that because you're not saying anything.
What did I say though? What was my response?
Well, you said you were all right. Yeah, you were. Yeah, I think I'm all right with it. Yeah.
What I said was,
No.
I think they were fine. Well, think about that for a second. So the tone of that answer, I think they were fine, maybe means someone else thought they weren't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, oh, what did your instructor say?
It's
Oh,
that-
they didn't
it's
think they were
that-
very good at all.
It's that listening again, isn't it? Even just that slight.
I mean, I'm probably not going to, and you're going to be able to recover anything. But if you really listen carefully,
Yeah.
there's possibly hints. Well, I thought they were fine.
That's why I went into. I actually
What did
I
your
got
instructor
lucky
say?
there because that was the right way to go.
Yeah.
What right way? But I didn't realise that you
Something
were,
triggered you to do that, though. So, and it was possibly the tone of the answer. Well, I thought they were fine. That response possibly means there's been, well, you know, what did your last instructor say? Well, he wasn't that happy, but he's too bloody finicky, that's what I think.
Yeah.
So there could be an issue there. There may not be.
I think the reason why I carried on is that because I felt a bit more confident and I felt like it was going well. I just wanted to. I felt as though I had a real learner inside, and I wanted to make sure that that learner were 100%. To let me know and for me to see what's in learners' head, that they are confident about what they're doing.
Well, and he
No,
sounds confident, so it might be all right.
Yeah.
But is there a different way you could approach that? Do you think, when it comes to the question you have? You're looking to really simplify your questions to get the maximum amount. You've done some lovely stuff at the end there. You've driven away from here before. Yeah. Well, we're going to have to cover pedestrian crossings and travel. Are you happy with those? Yeah. We've covered them. Yeah. That's
Could I have said, instead of going on that control, observation, accuracy, could I have said, well, I already said it. Is there anything in particular what's worrying you about these manoeuvres?
That's a good question. I said, no. So I'm coming across very confident. A simple question might be, tell me what you know about this.
Yeah. Yeah, tell me what
Now
you
I have
know
to
about
tell, even
control.
wrong. Now I've got to tell you, haven't I?
Yeah.
Well, note. Oh, it's just the same as the other manoeuvres. In what way?
Yeah, it's just a different line of questioning, isn't
Yes.
it?
It went really well.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I just thought, let's just pop it a roll and just review that a little bit, because we may not remember it by the time we get
If
over there.
I'd have been on my test and I'd have started off like that, what would that examiner do?
What would you do as the examiner?
Well, saying that you can't predict what he's going to do, can you? You've just got to listen and adapt to what you're doing.
And again, just because you get the beginning right or wrong doesn't necessarily mean it's going to influence what comes after. He's going to use what he can. If things come up, if there's pedestrians diving around the place when he comes to do it, that sort of stuff. But just because he says he can do it doesn't mean he will. He should do, but so it's just. I think it's important that we don't ever get ourselves bogged down into thinking, if you make one mistake there, that's going to impact later. I sat in on a part 3 once where the guy delivered the wrong brief. And I was sat in the back thinking, oh no, what are you doing? And he was trying to catch his eye in the mirror. And, it was carnage after it, but he managed to fix it. And it was already passed.
So what did he do? Did the examiner just go into another brief then?
No.
Or did you go into another
No.
subject? No.
No, what happened was, the examiner said to him, I'd like you to teach me approaching junctions to turn left and right. So he said to him, I'm sat in the back and he opens his presenter on the T-junctions emerging page. And I'm like, that's the wrong page. And I'm trying to catch his eye. And he went, right, so, to do these, you're going to have to utilise that routine that you used on your approach to junctions last week. And he went, eh? So, you know, when you approached junctions last week, he said, never. He said, well, what did you do last week? So we did moving off and stopping. So he's told him straight away.
Yeah, and he
Not
passed
listening.
it because he.
So he then says to him, yeah, but you know the routine, that you know the MSM routine. Oh yeah, I know about that, yeah. Well, how did you apply that last week? He said, well, I had a look at my mirrors, and if there's nobody about, I didn't signal. If there's somebody about, I did signal.
Because he thought
I moved off and then I
stopped.
stopped. So he's told him again, he's still not listening. He said, yeah, but you know the routine, no, I don't know what you're on about. He says, well, anyway, never mind, he says. This is us when we're approaching this T-junction here. Tell me what you think you do first. I don't know. Like, you did it last week? No, never. Still not listening.
Yeah.
The examiner must be inside here thinking, how about to punch you in the face?
So he gave him loads of hints and
All the way through.
Yeah.
And of course, in the end, the examiner just came up and went, all right, okay, and then brief him on it. Of course, he's going to get it wrong because there's elements that are missing. So he got it wrong.
Yeah.
And this guy sat in this seat, he was sweating like a pig at the end of it because he worked him like a dog.
Yeah.
But he fixed it. And he passed. But it's not a recommended route to do it. But just because you get something right or wrong doesn't necessarily influence the outcome of the test. Does that make sense?
Yeah, as long as you try. It's like
So
you
have
said,
you
as long
got
as-
enough from me, do you think?
What for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've asked you quite a few questions.
Yeah, well, should we see how that goes then?
Until you reverse into that car or something.
Back and roll. Get me to go left out of the car park.
At the end, I'm going to go left it out of the car park. What's that car doing now?
What should I do here?
We'll just have to wait. It looks like there's nobody. It looks like there's nobody in it. Oh, there is. Yeah, I'll just wait there, Billy. Just see what he. Just out of roll, Bob. Do you know this guy?
No.
That'd be brilliant on my test, wouldn't it?
That is unbelievable.
Paul's going out to see him. Bet he's related to him.
Who's this?
I don't know, can't tell.
I'm at a roll.
Oh, he's on phone.
Puts his hand up.
Back and roll.
Do you want me to do directions to there?
Yeah, you can give them back to me if you like.
Yeah. I'm going to take the
Back
next
and roll then.
I'm going to take the next road on the right, Bob. Billy. Why did you go for second gear again then, Bob? And rather than second one that you went down? What's the feeling in your head about that?
First might have been the right one, I think. I wasn't sure at first. I thought at first I was in third, but obviously I wasn't.
How do you think your speed were on approach there, Bob? Did you feel as though it were a little bit... seemed to break sharp at the end?
Oh no, I thought it was alright.
At the end of the road we're going to turn right. When you come out of that junction and turn right there, Bob,
Oh yeah.
you feel like that went alright?
Yeah, I think it was okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that guy what were indicating? Them cars to your right, they were indicating.
Yeah. Yeah.
You pulled out before that car actually turned in. Did you realise that?
Well, he was signalling left though, wasn't he?
Yeah. What happened if he'd have left that signal on by accident and you'd have pulled out and he wasn't turning left? What do you think could have happened?
Oh, I didn't think about that.
What do you think could have happened?
Oh, I might have had a. Yeah,
Could have
yeah.
hit you, couldn't
He wouldn't have been very happy with me there, would he? So he's saying I should maybe wait a bit.
Yeah, just wait until the guys actually turned in, or the lady turned into junction, and then, or before you set off. Traffic lights, Bob, we're going to turn right.
Okay.
So, what colour have they just changed to?
Oh, they've gone to red.
You think you were getting a little bit close there as you come up to it?
I thought it was okay.
Seem to be the last mile. I've just noticed that you seem to be coming up a little bit too quick. Is there any reason in your mind why you're doing it? Do you realise you're doing that?
I haven't really thought about it. Just pop it at all.
Yeah.
Is it getting worse?
Yeah,
Why is it getting worse?
because I'm not putting it right. I remember this on one of the videos. Stop doing it. Yeah. What?
So you're not fixing it,
I
so
know.
I'm just getting it. I'm gradually making it worse and worse and worse. So I've done it 2 or 3 times, and each time I've gradually braked hard. If the chance had presented itself, I'd have braked really quite firm, but that silver car was too close behind me, so I couldn't.
Well,
So it needs fixing.
yeah, so back in roll again. So I've noticed 2 or 3 times, Bob, you're going a bit too quick. So
Alright.
if you don't mind me making a suggestion,
Okay.
do you want me to just prompt you as we
Yeah,
come?
yeah, that'll be fine, yeah.
Yeah. So if you just come off your gas and brake nice and steady, Bob. Right there, you were just a bit too quick, weren't you? A bit too close. Do you know the reason why you shouldn't get too close to the car in front?
Well, is it because you're braking hard?
Well, if you're too close and the guy sets off in front and he rolls back, what do you think could happen if you're too close?
Oh, I
I'm going to take the next road on the left.
I suppose he might roll back anyway, mightn't he?
Yeah. And what happens if that guy happened to break down and you were right close up to his bumper? What do you think could happen then? And the guy at back were right close to you.
Yeah, that wouldn't be so clever, would it?
You wouldn't be able to go anywhere.
Alright, okay.
There's a saying, it's called tyres and tarmac, where if you pull up behind a car, you can see its back tyres and a little bit of tarmac.
Oh, my last instructor used to get on to me about that.
I'm going to take the next road on the left. So if you get your speed down now, Bob, if you slow down a little bit earlier, just give you more time. That's a lot better. How do you feel that went?
Oh, that's a bit smoother.
Just start a roll a minute. If you smell any fish, I've had kippers before I come home. I've been chewing gum. Stink.
What, fish flavoured chewing gum?
No, kippers.
Kipper flavoured chewing gum?
Right, kippers, and I've got some chewing gum in me, but it doesn't stop it.
Bag and roll.
What do you think you could have? What hazard do you think you could have expected coming round that bend there, Bob?
Well, maybe somebody a bit far out like he was. They always are coming around there, aren't they?
What do you think could have happened if it had been a HGV coming round corner? What's the first thing you'd have done?
I'd have to brake, wouldn't I?
Yeah. Check your members.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I could have said a question there and I didn't say it.
Go on, ask me it then.
What's the first thing you're going to do when you come to that situation there with parked vehicles? You check your mirrors and slow down. Yeah.
Take the next road on the left.
I'm going to take the next road on the left. we eventually going to do a reverse park behind that?
Possibly,
Yeah.
possibly. So, talk me through that from there to here. Missing out the lunatic on the phone. How did that
I seem
feel?
to just go a little bit quiet and not losing concentration. I know what to say, it's just getting it out, and I seem to lose a bit of concentration. But yeah, you've done it 2 or 3 times, and I know what question to ask, but I just, for some reason, just can't seem to get them out clearly. And then when I do, I'm expecting that you're gonna oblige. You're gonna say, "Oh yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna fix it straight away because you've told me."
So it's, if you ever think about, you asked me the questions, good questions, you know, what did you think of your speed there? Thought it was alright. Straight away that tells you. It wasn't, was it?
No.
So, felt a bit quick to me. Any idea why I felt it was a bit quick? Or whatever you did. So, why are we braking so firmly, do you think?
The problem ain't getting too close. It's probably you're not looking far enough ahead and seeing what traffic's doing.
Yeah, I didn't put my brakes on until he put his brakes on.
Mm.
So, so I'm only looking there. So I'm reacting in that time frame,
So
which obviously makes it a
if
bit...
you get close up to him, it's because you're not looking far enough. That's just a problem what's occurred because of the other.
The stuff you would normally do, you know, when we came down to where Silver's is and we turned right,
Yeah.
what would be the question you would normally ask me there?
What gear do you think you might need here?
Well, as you look up the road, ordinarily you would have said, what colour are them traffic lights?
Yeah.
But you didn't today. Why do you think that is?
I think it's because you put another mistake in coming up to him. And I'm trying to think in my head that I've got to put that right. That's probably why I never said it.
I mean, I was just interested. I mean, I don't know what's going on in your mind, but was any of it to do with, had you put a bit too much trust in me? Because I've said, I'm nearly ready for my test.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. And there's still that little bit because I know that you're qualified. I always go back to this, and it's no excuse, but it is in my head. Because if that were a genuine learner...
Well, I'm not having it.
If that were a genuine learner,
Yeah.
you can't afford to think like that.
No.
Because they will make a mistake. They might take their hands off at wheel and panic. You don't know, do you? You don't know what's going to happen. I've had that before,
And bear
years
in mind,
ago.
it's okay with your own learners because you get to know them. This is the first time you met me,
Yeah.
Billy. So just be careful. If you see behaviour like that, that maybe needs a little bit of chatting about. Okay, well, so what's causing this then? We seem very late in braking here. Tell me where you're looking. Where are your eyes right now?
Yeah.
Again, revert back to your commentary drive. What would you be taught about as you turn that road? You'd be taught about those lights and what you were going to do about them. Those lights are on
away,
red,
yeah.
so I'm probably going to ease off the gas now.
Yeah.
So if I'm not doing the same as you would do, have a little chat with me. As we left, have I done anything, do you think, that might cause you to think there might be an issue when I come to do any manoeuvring?
Well, I picture you were going too fast and you were
Anything else?
maybe looking out for pedestrians. You know, when you come up to them pedestrian lights and do a crossing and you just come straight up to them at fair.
Again, that was part of the not looking far enough ahead.
Yeah.
So I used that because I got the opportunity.
You could have been riding clutch. I want even to look at.
Go right back to the beginning. When we reversed out of the parking bay, where was I looking?
Oh, you were looking. Yeah, you were looking at me. You know what? I'm not saying it because you picked up.
No, I saw you see me. You looked at me.
I did look. I saw you looking at that, and I didn't mention anything because I know you said you were in roll, but we've done that loads of times, and I just assumed that you were going to do it all right that first bit. I didn't notice you looking there, and then as you set off, you just have a quick glance in your blind spot, but you weren't looking where you were going.
I was quite deliberate, wasn't I? Blind spot. Well, I'll check that one as well. Check my mirror. And then just reverse back in the mirror. And I could see your eyes on me, and I thought, well, you've spotted me. But you never set out. I thought, interesting. I did think about getting me to pull up here and pulling up close to there and reversing back again and give you another little hint, but you'd have probably picked it up on the maneuver. So I think perhaps you've trusted me a bit too much there. You've taken me at my word. And the first time you meet a learner, whether it's a brand new real life learner or a learner on test on your part 3, you need to keep an eye on them. You need to be getting on the stuff straight away.
I think it's that bit as well where you
haven't missed the problem, you just haven't done it about it.
try not to. There's a that bit where you're trying not to instruct or trying not to put stuff in, you feel as I think that could make it go the other way, where you're just laid back and you're just expecting them to.
Yeah.
But you've got.
That approach works lovely for real live learners, and it does work on the test within certain parameters. But if you ever think about the constraints of the test itself, he's only really got 25 minutes with you on each section. So things need to be done, if you like, in a more condensed time frame. So if you see something with a learner driver, you might just wait and see how it develops and maybe just be gently working on it. On the Part 3 exam, that needs fixing immediately.
So if you see a problem like that speed, 2 or 3 questions, if you're 100% certain that that's what's causing it, and you've said 2 or 3 questions he's not having it, then you've got to jump in and stop it. Because by the time you know it...
Right from the word go. If you see something you're thinking, well, if I've done something different the way you would do it, you're an expert driver now. If I don't do what you would do, you need to know why. Hang on a minute, what's that? But it's very easy just to, be alright, but you just let it run, because it wasn't that bad, was it? But it was still a fault.
Yeah.
So if I'm the examiner, I'm sat there thinking, well, have you seen it or not?
Yeah, that real live learning, if they were doing that, and especially if there's a bit of ice or rain, and you're leaving it late and it locks up, you're just going to go straight into the back of somebody, aren't you?
I mean, you're asking me some nice questions, but I'm saying, oh yeah, I get it, because you're getting me to focus on the gap here. But that's not really the problem. It's not fixing it. The reason it's not fixing it is because that's not the problem. Where I'm looking is the problem.
Yeah.
So although you're on the fault, you've spotted it.
I'm going down the wrong path to fix it.
You've identified the risk, but our analysis is not quite right. So it's because of where I'm looking that I'm seeing that later. I'm doing my best. Oh, I was trying ever so hard not to do that, you know. But because I'm not looking far enough ahead, and I'm waiting until he brakes before I brake.
Yeah, if you're not looking far enough ahead and there's a wagon and he brakes, you're not seeing where the problem is, what's going to cause him to slow down, so you're just going.
So I'm never going to be able to fix it. Never going to be able to fix it. But good, so I know you're spotting it. So we've got the risk identification. That's good, that's important. Analysis and remedial action is key. So you got to find a way of fixing that. You could even, throw it open-ended. Well, why do you think that's happening? Well, I don't know. Well, let's have a look at a few things. Let's think about whereabouts are you looking? Well, I'm watching him. Well, is that far enough ahead, do you think? Well, I don't know. Well, when I'm driving, I tend to look right the way around the corner there. And of course, if there's anything up there that's going to make him slow down, I'm going to see it early. All right, should we try that?
That's what I would think in my head. For me, it's getting what I'm thinking out in with questions.
So I think it's just, you should just expect from me what you do, especially if I'm a phase 2 pupil, and this is the last thing before we test. You should be expecting that the driving should be okay, and if it's not, of course it's our job to fix it. Okay, we've got a bit of a problem here. Why do you think that is? Well, I don't know. Do my best. Okay, well, let's look at 1 or 2 solutions. There could be several things, but the first one I would think of was, is it this, is it that? And if you've asked me the questions, what would happen there? You want tyres and tarmac? Oh yeah, my last instructor used to get on to me all the time about that.
So that should have said to me that.
All right, so he's not been able to fix it either. So it's probably a trend that's been in me driving for a while. So just some questioning, but don't let it go.
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing in the world, and this is the most common reason for failure at phase 2. You sat there thinking, he's done it again. We've talked about this. I've just asked him a lovely question there, and he was like, oh yeah, okay, but yet it's still happening. So if it is still happening, you've not fixed it. You've spotted the fault, but we've not analysed it.
So say if this were Part 3 test, and that were the problem, not looking far enough, and I didn't pick up on it, and I said, do you mind if I make a suggestion? I'll guide you through next few. Is he still?
You might be able to guide him through and fix it.
But I bet straight away, as soon as you're not guiding him, he'll start doing it again, won't he? Because
he might not. If he can see clearly, if you're saying, how's that now? Oh, that's much better. All right. So if I look right up there, that's right, I've got it, yeah. And if you're giving him a good reason, he will fix it.
Yeah.
It's just that you've spotted the fault, we've not analysed it and put a plan in place to fix it. You just said, think about tyres and tarmac. All right, I'll think about that. But think about it all day. If my observation is poor, thinking about that's not going to do a thing about it. So you've tried several things, just keep at it. Now you just start to back away a little bit.
Yeah.
Just keep at it. This is not right, this. And you might be doing that all the way through. You might fix it, and then it might drop back in again at the end. So you instinctively know when it's not right.
Yeah.
That's great news.
But you've got to keep on ball, aren't you? If you start assuming, I like that word, assume. If you assume that he's going to do it perfect every time, you're going to miss stuff, aren't you?
So, shall we drop back in the roll and do this reverse park? Anything you want to ask before we do that? Does that all make sense? Can you see a way forward with that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I know exactly. As soon as I see it, as soon as I see you making a mistake, I know. It's
Still
just
early
getting the
days.
words out.
Still early days.
Right, we're back in rolling.
Back in roll.
Right, Bob, we've arrived at training area.
Who's this, Bob?
Billy.
Back in roll, Billy.
Right, Billy, we've arrived at training area now.
Yeah.
Are you still alright to go ahead with this manoeuvre?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Have you got any idea in your mind how you might go ahead and do this manoeuvre? Have you got any?
Well, I've seen my mate do it. It's just like, well, you just like pull up alongside the car and then come back in and straighten it up.
Yeah. So, at that point then, what level of help do you want from me? Do you just want to have a go at it, or do you want me to talk you through it, or explain it to you? Or?
Well, can I just have a go on just on my own without any...
Yeah, you can have a go on your own.
Alright,
I've
okay.
got your back. If you want to break it down into small parts where I might do observation for you and you do control bit or whatever, or you want to take it all on together.
No, I'll have a go. I didn't know you could do that. Right, yeah, okay. Wait a second then.
So what's first thing what's going through your mind?
Well, we've got to make sure it's safe to do it, haven't we? So there's anybody about, so I should be alright. If I get... Can I take my seatbelt off for this?
Yeah, you can take your seatbelt off, yeah. Like you've done it other manoeuvres.
Yeah, I did on my reversing, yeah.
If you want to talk me through it at any stage, Bob, you just go ahead and...
Okay.
Where do you think you should be looking when you're going backwards, Bob?
Alright.
Just stop there, but what do you reckon your angle... Are you happy with that angle there, do you think?
No, I've made a bit of a mess of that, haven't I?
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
too far this way, aren't I?
if you... Once we start... What's he going to do there? I think he's going to stop. That's it, once you start moving back, Bob, if you get hold the steering on really quick, we might be able to get it. Yes, look. How's that looking to you?
Oh, that looks a bit better.
Straighten your wheel up now, Bob. You can have a glance in this mirror to see how far you're
Alright.
away. Just stop there, Bob, that car.
So that's better than I thought it was going to be.
What do you reckon that for the first attempt?
Alright. Yeah.
How do you think you could make it any better?
Well, no, I'm quite happy with that.
It's not
the
bad,
back
is it?
end's out a bit, isn't it?
Probably about a foot and a half. It's not bad for the
Yeah,
first
a bit wide,
attempt, do you
aren't
think?
we? Yeah, it's alright, yeah. I think so, yeah.
So, is there anything what you think you could do any better? How do you think your control was?
I think it was fairly slow, I think.
Observations?
Alright.
Yeah. Did you remember to look out of that mirror?
No, when you told me, yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think it's important to look out of there, out of that rear window?
Well, so you can see what's going on, isn't it? Well, that's the direction you're going, isn't it?
Did you notice some pedestrians on that side of the road?
No.
There was some lasses, wasn't there?
Was there? Oh, right. Oh, no, I didn't see them.
Yeah. So it's always good to check, or a good all-round check, especially when you're swinging car out to come in.
Alright, okay, yeah.
So do you want to have another go at that? Or
Yeah.
what level of help do you want from me now? Do you want me to talk you through it a little bit, or do you want to have another go?
Can I just have another go?
Yep. Just remember your blind spot check before you move off, Bob. Just can I just come out of roll there, Bob, for a minute?
Go on then.
I think I should have talked you through that a little bit there, because you've come a bit wide, and I think that's why you're coming in at a bit of a... Well, saying that, it wasn't too bad, that angle.
What can you do about that?
Can I make a suggestion? Do you mind if I just talk you through this first bit, because I think you're a bit... I'll
No.
tell you how far you need to be from that car.
Alright then, yeah, that'll be alright, yeah.
Yeah. If you just pull forward a little bit, Bob. Just pull forward and just straighten up. Just steer a bit more to right. That's it, now you're a bit straighter now.
Alright, oh yeah, I can see that, yeah.
So just remember this time when you set off back to look through your rear window.
Alright, yeah.
Look all round. Just stop there a minute, Bob. Just stop there. When are you deciding to turn wheel? You know when you start to turn wheel, have you got like a point where you're looking, or?
No, I just sort of guessed.
Yeah. Do you know about, are you looking where our car lines up the back of theirs?
No.
No. Well, if you go back and, when our car lines up with the back of their car,
Yeah.
if you start to turn wheel then,
Alright. What about there?
yeah, about there. Just have a good look around, Bob, as well when you're going backwards as well. How do you feel?
I didn't see that. Should I go the other way now?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Don't mind if you touch curve out like that, Bob, because we're only learning. What can you see behind now, Bob? You're going back, you're not looking through your rear window again.
Window,
Look.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Remember to look that way. If you get full look that way, Bob, now go and get your steering on. Why do you think that happened?
Have I come round too far?
Yeah, just come out of roll there, Bob.
Okay.
I know how to fix it in my head. I know how to get you to do it, but
Well,
I'm
fix
trying
it.
to say out to you.
Fix it.
Because because I'm putting it in, aren't I?
That's okay though, isn't it? If that's, again, you know what, we're looking at putting these, let me sort this out while we have a chat.
And this guy will be looking through his windows.
Yeah, we'll pick another car for another go. Is it, we're not on the curb. Is it a little raised driveway thing? Oh, it is, yeah.
You see where this is the one where I have reference points and I still use it in my head.
Okay.
I have that where I come alongside about that far as I come to back at car, put one turn on, and I look at this handle on here, and it works perfect every time. But the thing is, you can't.
Well, you can. I mean, it's, you know what, we're always looking to try and get the learning out rather than putting it in. But again, the constraints of the exam might stand in your way there. So have a think about, you intervened and made me straighten it up. That's helped you. That's great. Oh, that's better. When I was coming back, you give me the reference point there. Did that work? Did I accept it and just work on it?
You accept it, but then I just left you to do it on your own again, and you put too much angle coming in.
So if I've accepted that, you could then say, when are you going to decide to turn the other way? How much steering are you going to use? Just tell me how much steering you're going to use, yeah? Oh, maybe a bit less than last time. All right. Or you just say, look, just try. You could say, just try one. It doesn't matter if you're using reference points. They're not the work of Satan.
That's the only one that because that's the manoeuvre where I struggled on at first. I never wanted to do it, especially because you're in a pressure situation, middle of a town centre, and everybody's looking at you to do it perfect. So I got this reference point, and it works virtually every time, but I didn't want to.
If it works for you, do you think it might work for me?
It could do, but I feel like I don't want to put stuff in, because I might go into that mode of just telling you how to drive.
Well, I think it's about finding the balance, isn't it? You've got a situation here where if you leave it free form, there's too many things can go wrong. With a learner driver, it's maybe going to be a little bit easier. But on the exam, you haven't got a lot of time. You've only got 25 minutes to play with. So you might need to say, look, hang on a second. Look, would you mind if I make a suggestion? Here's the way that I do it. Do you want to try my way? Yeah, all right, yeah, I'll give that a go. So you've let me, with a real live learner.
Yeah, because if you're a real live learner, you've done it a few times, and I noticed you're steering a lot, and it's I could say, well, we're coming in at a tight angle. Do you think it might be a benefit if you didn't put as much steering on? And then you do it.
Yeah.
Well, you can't.
But you've got time with a learner. Here you've got 25 minutes. It's not a lot of time. So I would certainly be okay to let them have a go, but I'd be saying, just tell me your thinking and where you might steer and how much you might steer. So you're still not trying to put the learning in, you're just saying, just give me a bit of an idea about what you're doing. Or you could just be saying, okay, stop. So at what point do you think you should put the steering on? Probably here. Well, if I'm doing it, I would go a bit further back, maybe line that back up. All right, does that help you? Oh yeah, that's better.
You know, when I ask that examiner, how much help do you want from me? And he might go, what do you mean? Well, do you want to have a go on your own and I'll just watch your back, or do you want me to explain it? Is there more chance than not that he's going to ask for a full explanation on that test?
Well, he might. But if you give him the option to say, oh, I didn't know I could just have a go. So look at my response. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. What does that tell you? That's not how his last instructor did it. Oh, so how do you normally do stuff? Well, my instructor talks me through it. Does that work for you? Yeah. Do you want me to do that? Yeah, if you don't mind. Or he might go, well, what's the options? But you could just have a go. Oh, I wouldn't mind to go with that. But if you're just going to give him a go freeform, you need to be on top of it and keep control of it.
Because if he says, oh yeah, I'll have a go, he's going to make mistakes in that, isn't he?
Well, of course he is, otherwise what does it tell you about?
So he's going to expect you to jump in and try and correct it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just say, well, give me a little bit of an idea about how you're going to do. Tell me how you think you might do this.
Yeah.
That's a great question. Tell me what you know about this. Tell me what you're thinking. How do you think you might do it? You know, I don't know. Thought you'd tell me. Okay, well I can do. Would you like me to give you a full explanation about how it works? Well, I don't know if I need a full explanation. All right, well just let's talk me through. So where are you going to stop when you pull up alongside the car? Well, probably level with them. And then what will you do? Well, I'll come back. What sort of speed will you come back at? Not quite slow. When will you decide to turn? Oh, I'm not really sure. Did your last instructor used to give you reference points on manoeuvres? Yeah, he did. Do you want me to give you one here? Yeah, if that's all right. So you're still not putting learning in unless it's required.
Yeah.
But because of the constraints of the test, we can't keep it totally freeform like you might get away with a real live learner.
You know, 25 minutes isn't...
It's not a lot of time.
25 minutes of... Well, we go out for 2 hours, don't we? And it feels like 20 minutes. That 25 minutes on test will probably feel like 10.
So at each stage, when I've kind of thrown you the curveball or something, you've stopped for a nanosecond because it's resonated with you, but you haven't done it about
I know. I know. As soon as you pulled alongside, I just felt as though.
Well, I thought that's great. You've been straight on. Hang on a second. We make a suggestion. Let's pop forward a bit and get straight. Yeah. And I'm saying, yeah, oh, that's better. All right, yeah. So again, as I was coming back, I felt like you were going to say something, but then you didn't. So just stop there, Bob. And then you did. Stop me there.
It's a fine line between knowing when to jump in and help you out and knowing when.
I think you're better for the test. You're better off being in when you didn't need to, and not in when you did need to.
Because if I'm using questions just to see what you know, and obviously I can see by your body language and your answer that you're a bit nervous, and that's when you've got to go in and help, haven't you?
Yeah.
Because if you leave them, it's like
absolutely. But just establish, so do you want me to talk you through it, or do you want to have a go on your own?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, and again, my response. Oh, I don't know how to do that. I wouldn't mind to go on my own. So if he doesn't know he can do it, that's not how he's worked before. So is it going to work for him? Probably not. Otherwise his last instructor might have switched on to that idea. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but we're going to look at the part 3 exam itself in a bit of detail as we get sort of later on, and look at the constraints of the exam on the examiner and what it is that they're looking for. So at the minute we're looking at those basic practices and principles. It's making the switch from one to the other. I suppose that's something that we need to have a think about.
Another thing what will help me is when the girlfriend starts going out, because I'm going to have to ask good questions and watch, because I ain't got no dual controls.
Well, that's right. That's right. So it's, it is great to try and get the principle of not putting the learning in and trying to get it out in place. But for the examiner has another agenda that he has to adhere to. So in terms of moving that forward, what do you want to do with that now? What would you like to work on in terms of this? Do you want to have another go at that?
Yeah, we'll have another. We'll pull up at the back of another car. We'll have another talk as if we're in roll again.
Right, you know. I'll drive us there out of roll because we shouldn't have to go too far. I would imagine there'll be one up here. There we go. I'll just pull it behind this one.
Yeah. Are we back in roll?
Back and roll, over to you.
Right, Billy, we've had a few goes at reverse park. How do you feel so far? in your own mind? Do you think?
I thought it had gone a bit better. It's not gone that well, has it really?
No. Going on that then, do you want me to just talk you through a little bit on this one? Just give you a few points where...
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
It's only a small amount of points and you should improve. You should be able to...
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a bit of help on this one.
Yeah. What's the main difference on this one compared to the other one, do you think?
Cars point the other way.
Yeah. What about White Road is?
Oh, it's on a hill, yeah, it's on a hill, isn't it? Yeah.
So when we set off from here...
Oh, it's got to move quick, isn't it?
Yeah, when we set off from here, why is it important to get biting point?
Well, so it doesn't roll back.
Yeah. And then when we pull up alongside of that car and we start to reverse, what do you think's different then?
Well, it's going to run away down. Could I just let it run back on the brake?
Yeah. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, you can do all manoeuvre on brake and clutch. You won't need any gas.
Oh, okay.
That's if you don't want to. You can.
No, that'd be I think that's fine. I think
Plus, there's another slight difference in this one as well. Have you noticed up well ahead there what we got here?
Well, I suppose there's a junction up at the top, so there might be other cars.
Yeah. But we can see because it's quite open there. Isn't it? You can see that guy over there.
Yeah.
You can so we'll probably see them before they see us.
Oh, okay.
So are you happy to go?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh no, just two. Oh, just
go on.
Yeah. When we actually pull away from here, Bob, how far do you think we need to be away from this car before we actually start reversing back in behind it? How far do you think our door here needs to be off that?
Well, it's probably about, I don't know, about that.
Yeah. About half a door's width.
Yeah.
So, when you're ready then. So, try to keep nice and straight, half a door's width. That's it, that's perfect.
About right.
Yeah, that's a lot better, Bob, that. Just remember to look through your rear window.
Oh, yeah.
So remember, when our car lines up in front of us at back.
Oh, yeah. Steering on there.
Yeah, you just steer. That's enough, Bob. Remember last time we steered too much, didn't we?
Yeah, we did,
See? And then when you think that you're near enough to curb without hitting it, then you can put your steering on the other way. What's going through your mind? When do you think you might need to do it?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Well, just give it a go anyway. Just go with your instincts.
That looks quite close. Is that about there?
Yeah. Start to put your steering on the other way now, Bob. Just keep your speed low. Go and get your steering on. Remember to look out of your rear window when you're going backwards. Go and get your steering on, Bob. Full lock that way, that's it. How's that looking?
Not too bad.
Just straighten your wheel up now. Look through your back window when you're going backwards. That's it, Bob, that'll do. Handbrake, neutral. Let's have a look. That's a lot
that's better, isn't it? Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
That was better, yeah.
But what main reason why do you think that one went a lot better than others?
Well, you were helping me a bit, weren't you?
Yeah. What about your control? How do you think your control went?
That was nice and slow, wasn't it?
Yeah. What about your observations?
Well, they're all right because you reminded me about looking at the back window, didn't you?
Yeah. A few times I had to remind you, didn't you?
Yeah.
Look out at back window.
Yeah, I'll have to try and remember that.
Because what happens if you're looking elsewhere and you're not looking at her back and a little girl comes across?
I suppose, yeah.
And then the dad or mum comes out and starts shouting at you because you're not going to. How are you going to feel if you're not that kid over?
Yeah, not very good, I suppose. Okay, had a roll. How was that?
Yeah, well, I liked it because there's that caring side coming out of me where I think before I don't want to talk too much, but it's knowing when to get in with that, isn't it?
So, in terms of this learner, how's that worked, do you think? Has learning taken place this time?
Yeah, if it had been a proper learning and they'd have done that, I'd have been chuffed a bit. So I'd have gone home thinking, I'd have probably written it out and thought, where have I gone wrong here? Which parts do I need to improve on? Because when I pass this course, I'm going to be looking at that all the time. I'm not just going to say, oh, it's my business, I'm earning loads of money, I can say what I want. I'll just be thinking about trying to improve it all the time.
Well, you've you've got onto me. Well, not got onto me, that's the wrong way to describe it. You've been in before it's gone wrong and said, okay, think about this, slow down there, look through your back window, a bit more stick, come on, get on full lock. Oh yeah. Now when do you think it'll put it the other way? Well, I'm not really sure. You say, well, just go with your instincts. You think, well, even in roll you've got to think, well, alright, I've got to give you something. So, well, what about now?
I could have given you that door thing.
Could have done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might have helped.
Another thing as well, because this is the first time I've done some manoeuvres with this side, it's very difficult to judge. It's alright when you've been in there for 20 odd years, because you just, especially if you've had a car for a while and you're driving, you feel it through your body. You just feel that you're in the right position. Whereas here, when you're saying, I ain't got in my head I'm thinking, I ain't got a clue. I don't know how far I am.
You'll eventually learn it like you did from this side, but it can be a bit difficult. It's also difficult when first time you're on that side, isn't it? So you're going past parked cars, you feel too close to them because you're used to being over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah,
we'll head back now. What do you want to do with the drive back?
I might do that where just having a go at me doing that commentary drive, but telling you we did that and that worked.
Okay, we can try that. That's not a problem. Back and roll. Left at the end of the road.
At the end of the road, turn left. What gear do you think we might be able to go out of here, Bob?
Yeah, we'll get away with second there.
Why did you choose second?
Because I had a bit of momentum going and
Yeah.
I got a good view.
Yeah. Why do you think it's a good idea just to slow down up to this roundabout here?
Well, I haven't got a very good view, have I? It's a bit tight.
Yeah.
Follow the road ahead.
Follow
It could
the
be
road
also
ahead.
kicking out time at the school and all, isn't it?
Yeah. Can you see them kids up there, Bob, walking beside them cars?
Oh, they're on the loose, aren't they?
One of them might run out into
They're
the
a bit
road.
small to be on the loose, aren't they? Can't have any more than 3.
Especially in this situation, Bob, why is it really important to have good observations and expect? What could you expect running between them cars?
Maybe kids running over to the park.
Yeah. What can you see now?
Oh, there's a lollipop lady.
Yeah.
Man.
Well done. You're a lot better with your speed than what you were early on. What is that situation that emphasised it about your speed?
Let me just pop out a roll there.
Yeah.
Why was my speed better there?
Because there were some kids about.
No, not just that. I mean, that's part of it.
Or because there was a car coming the other way.
There was something else happened, wasn't there? That was different. Where was I looking?
Well ahead.
Why was I looking well ahead?
Because we mentioned it before. Yeah.
No, because you went, look up here, what do you see? There, what
Right.
can you see ahead there?
Yeah.
Oh. So you're forcing my eyes up the road with the conversations we're having.
So at the end of the road, we're going to turn left. You can see them pedestrians, can't you, there, Billy? Just be careful what they might do, they might cross
Right.
over. What can you see in front now?
They're going to want that.
Yeah. What they are going to look.
We'll go right at this one a bit.
What can you see in that new road there, Billy?
There's a bus.
Yeah. What else can you see closer to
Why
you?
another lollipop lady?
Yeah. Do you think she's going to cross?
Don't think so, no.
What about that car there? Do you think he's going to follow?
Right.
Can I just come out of roll there
Go
a
on.
minute? If I could say all sorts now, but I feel like you can't say that to a learner, can you?
Why
Because
not?
they're just, I don't know whether they'll take it all in. It's like now I'd be saying, oh, I'm keeping my eye on that car, I might pull out, it's clear, I'm checking my mirrors, I've got to move out, I'm to right hand side, checking my mirrors, I can see that lollipop lady outside the car, there's a junction there, there might be a car come out, and that bus is stopping, that car's, it's like there's,
You're probably not going to get that
No.
level of detail from a learner, but you could. And a one that I use a lot with learners, and we think that they're too
Yeah.
stupid to work it out. You just said, tell me what you're thinking of here. What you're planning on doing here.
yeah,
What's got your eye here?
just, yeah,
Tell me what you can see. What you're going to do with it.
that's the bit What question could I have asked there to entwine all the ones what I'm thinking in my head? Because you obviously can't say all them, can you?
Remember when you were doing your... You've never parked that car there. Brilliant. Think about it when you were doing your Part 2 training. What was it I used to ask you? You said,
You said,
okay, tell me what you see.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with it? We don't suddenly become more intelligent once we've got a license. We're intelligent because human beings are intelligent. So tell me what we're going to do about this wagon here. Oh, trip your mirrors, I better slow down. Why are you slowing down? In case somebody's coming the other way. Excellent, well done. Dead straightforward.
Yeah.
Now, it's after the event now, but you could be saying, what was going through your mind when that car came out there? Oh, I was a bit worried because I was out in the road. Could you have done anything about that? Well, no, so what did you do? Oh, well, I came in a bit slower. Have your actions contributed to safety there? Or taken them out? Oh, yeah. So, there's all sorts of questions you can ask. Don't tie your hands by thinking you've got to do everything a particular way. And you'll find loads of information and guidance out and about from loads of different places. Don't think you've got to particularly do things one way. Do what you think that you need to do.
Yeah. It's like,
based on what you've
like
got
this
around.
question here. If this bus stops, what type of pedestrian might you think will get off this bus? And it's self-explanatory, isn't it?
Well, yeah. But by asking that question,
But some people, when they pass the test, they'll just be tunnel vision because they'll be thinking about other stuff.
but part of that's because they're being trained in a way that was just like somebody lecturing them what to do, and then they were left to their own devices.
Yeah.
They were never encouraged to come to their own conclusions about what they need to do. But the line of question, talk me through what you're doing here. Okay,
Yeah.
what made you make that decision?
Like this one here, I could be saying to you, can you see what's happening in that road over there?
Oh, there's roadworks, yeah.
Yeah. So potentially, why do you think this junction could be made easier with what's going off over there?
They could have put traffic lights up, couldn't they?
Yeah. But what happens? Do you think it looks like that road's shut off? So if there's no cars coming out of there, do you think it makes junction slightly easier, observation-wise?
Oh,
Might
right,
not
yeah,
be a-
probably, yeah.
That might not be a good question to ask, but
You got there, though.
through my mind, I'd be thinking there's nothing. It looks like it's shut off, so I'm wrong. See, there's a car coming
It
down.
did look like it was,
Yeah.
but no, it's a fair point. So it's just about, really, you need to know what's going on in the mind of the learner. So just ask those questions. It's like when you come to do the reverse parking, I said, well, tell me what you know about this.
Yeah.
It's just, oh, well, I know I've got to do it slow and my observations are going to be good. When you say slow, what do you mean by that? Well, less than walking pace. Observations, talk me through where you think you'll be looking most of the time. Well, out the back, why are you doing that? So it's
Yeah. It's like having a conversation, isn't
that's
it?
exactly what it
You
is.
can tell somebody, but if you're fetching it, if you're getting their opinion as well. Sometimes when I say to a girlfriend about stuff, she tells me straight away, and then she tells me to shut up and stuff like that.
It's amazing the difference the school run makes to traffic.
You want another fault that you made when we first set off today? Well, that one where that car would indicate to turn, and you set off, didn't you, before
Yeah.
the car actually turned? And I think I got on top of that one fairly quick.
Well, you didn't. You give me. Well, if you think about it, you say, well, you went. What would you do if you'd not turned that? Oh, I didn't think about that. So my response there was a genuine, like, oh, right. And I think I said to you, so I shouldn't have pulled out then. No, I should have waited. Some sort of response. So it's.
Because if I'd have been a genuine learner, I'd have probably thrown a question in. And this is a real life situation. I used to do that years ago. Until one day somebody did it, and I actually went to pull out. They shot straight across, and you're thinking.
You think, well, look at that. A good driver on a bad day.
But it's like when you're on a roundabout that somebody's indicating to come off, you just assume that they're going to get off.
Yes, assumption is a dangerous thing when it comes to other road users.
What can you see ahead now? Well ahead.
Or some traffic lights.
Yeah. What do you think could happen to this Golf here? Do you think he could pull out?
We'll take this one on the left, on the right. And relax. give it a roll. So in terms of where that's put you, what you do your reflection obviously, but how's that shaping up? Tell me how you feel the session went today.
I feel it's alright because it is all about adapting to different from what you're listening to. It's not, because I was a little bit frightened of maybe getting in. I still don't want to get in too soon, but if somebody says I'm going to have a go and then they do it wrong first time, then you can offer your help saying, do you want me to try you through it a little bit?
You know the little bits where it did go a little pear-shaped?
Yeah.
What was your gut instinct telling you at that point?
When it went pear-shaped, your gut instincts, I want to help this lad out.
Yeah. So
I don't want to tell him, I don't want to say this is how I do it and this is how you will.
But at each point you've known about it.
Yeah.
So don't be scared to just jump in. If your gut's telling you that, hang on a minute, I need to do something about this, just do it.
Yeah.
It's better to be in when you don't need to than not in when you do need to, in terms of the Part 3 exam. So what's your thinking for the next session that we'll do? What do you think your provisional plan is for that? And obviously we can change it if during your reflection you come up with something different.
Well, what I'm going to do, well, depending on the next session, on days, well, I always Saturday, Sunday, I don't think about it at all. I just have a chill out.
Good.
When I start thinking about it, I want to think of different scenarios with faults on road and good questions to ask, like that speed, because you were speeding up, and instead of, I've got to think of different scenarios and what could be causing that, and then put some decent questions in. I want to work on that. And,
if you can get the learner to self-identify the fault and self-analyse, that's even better, but that's not always easy to do. So if they're not able to do it, you need to. Okay, so it's not working here. Why is that? What's the problem here? What can we do to fix that?
Plus, I'll have a little bit of practice with a real live learner. We know dual controls and stuff.
Oh, of course, yeah. Got your good lady.
And like you say, I know when I need to ask a question. I'm struggling to get it out at the moment. I know when I can see a fault. I'm struggling to. I'm seeing it, but this practice, what I'm going to have, I can reflect on that when I get back in, and I can say, right.
So there you go. See it, suss it.
But I'm not just going to think, alright, I'll just do it any old way because it's girlfriend. I'm still going to. I'll have that bit of paper, and I'll still try and ask the questions what I'm trying to get here. So I think it's easy just to think, it's girlfriend, it'll be alright. We'll have an hour and then we'll go somewhere, we'll do something else.
Well, the easy way of thinking of it that I pinched from my mate Shahid. The see it, suss it, sort it. Which I think is quite neat. So once you've identified the problem, you've got to go about analysing what's causing it and then applying a fix. So you can't really fix it till you know what's causing it.
Yeah.
See, your trainer's coming over there when the sun's gone in.
They're building some new houses at back of it, aren't they?
But, yeah, millions of them.
But they're not badly priced either. They're 120,000. I always think an house at that price, it can't be very good materials what they're using. 120 grand.
Well, the bottom's falling out of the house at the moment, anyway. So, in terms of our next, an outline plan, or do you want to go and think about it?
I think I should start. I think we should start it every time I come now to do different lessons. Just to do a complete lesson from start.
Yeah.
And work through. And if I feel like I'm losing a bit of control, I'll just come out of the role. But yeah, I think I just.
I mean, dropping in and out of role at this point doesn't matter at all. It's only towards the end that we'd be looking for you to be doing it.
Because I know I can write this down, and I know what. But it's just listening and getting it right.
And then in terms of me being able to help you, I'll try and perhaps vary what I'm doing and throw different things in that'll help to see if you're listening, maybe.
Yeah.
Throw you the odd curved ball, see if you're picking up on it.
Because when you look at these manoeuvres, even me as a driver, you try and overthink them. It's like reverse park. Okay, I'm half at trouble with that is because you're stressed out with everybody waiting for you. So you don't just reversing and going in back. It's so. When you look back on it after, when you've passed your test after so many years, you think it's easy.
It takes you about 20 seconds, but you feel like you're in the middle of the road for 4 days.
No, but you're trying to overthink everything. But it's knowing when to jump in. But if pupils struggling, to give them help without shoving it down the throats, but just picking up on the body language and how they're doing it. Like you did two there, they were fairly reasonable, but your positioning were a little bit off, weren't they, on the first two, and steering.
Don't be scared, just stop there. How's this looking? Like you did on the
Yeah.
How's this looking? What could you do about that? And he goes, well, I'm not really sure. Well, here's a suggestion.
Yeah.
So you've asked to begin with, and then you've offered help if it's needed. So it's all just bouncing around, but it's, and our preferred method is to try and get the learning out rather than put the learning in, but within the constraints of the Part 3 exam, I think sometimes we need to just circumvent that and just say, okay, here we go.
Because when, on them first two, if it had been a normal lesson with a pupil, them first two, I could see that there were too much steering, so we were going too much of an angle. You could have just said to people, do you think that maybe you might have had too much steering on? Right? Do you think it'd be a good idea just to knock a little bit of steering off as we come in? Just to, instead of telling them,
Or
getting
even
there.
just stop there. How's this looking? Like you did. In fact, you asked me that question. I said, well, on the first one, even I went, I've come around a bit far, haven't I? What could you do about that? I'm not sure. Well, you could either put tons of steering on the other way, or you could go forward. Choose one.
Yeah. If you go forward, you've got to put your seatbelt back on, haven't you?
No, you're still in that manoeuvre. So you're still conducting a manoeuvre. You're in the middle of a
So you
manoeuvre
can leave
containing a reverse.
Oh. That were on theory test.
So it's I'm not a fan of taking the seatbelt off because they might forget to put it back on. You should be watching them, of course, but if it is causing them an issue, put it on here. Just put it under their arm, and then you cannot forget to put it back on.
Yeah.
So, for the most part, the plan that you had laid out there has worked reasonably well. There's been some moments there where you could have been in where it looked like you were going to and you didn't. So just go with your gut feeling. If your gut feeling's like, oh, I need to be in here, just pile in. No lose.
Because I know. Oh, is that still rolling? That? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm not going to say I'm incriminating anyway, but I bet you.
Incriminating.
I bet after so many years that you could easily slip into that mode where you're just telling somebody what you know. And I think it's all about being friendly and being at ease with who's somebody what you know, rather than just saying it on a list. You got to do this, you got to do that. You're shouting and insisting and all that. And
well, it's not ideal, and it's the traditional way of doing things. It doesn't get the most out of the learner, and it doesn't get the most out of the instructor. You need to be working forward as a team to help learning take place. Your job is to keep them safe, keep the environment safe, and create the right environment for learning to happen by being non-judgmental, by being human. If you like, really.
That third attempt what we had in that reverse part, I'd have been chuffed to bits with that with normal learner, because I mentioned difference with going back, with being on an hill. I mentioned junction, how far we need to be away.
There's no reason that you're not chuffed to bits with it now.
Oh yeah, I am. I'll still pull my sense of bits when I get home. I don't know why. That might be I think that can dent your confidence when there's no need to be like that.
I think it's probably best always to start your reflection with, what did I get right today? What did I enjoy about today's session? What were the best bits? Do that bit first. Then it maybe then gets a bit more perspective. So if you think about it, we're not that far through the programme. We've got loads of time left, and we've still got, plenty of time to get it all refined and get it slick. It's like any new job. It takes a little bit of time.
I think if I went for the test now on part 3, the bit where I'd struggle on is the bit where you're asking questions. Examiner's making a fault, you're asking questions, and you're going down the wrong path, and you're thinking, why does he keep doing this?
Okay.
And that, I think at the moment, that's probably what would trip me up. you're thinking,
Well,
right,
the key thing there is, isn't it? Why does he keep doing this? You have to ask
there
yourself
must
that
be
question.
and
And what you well, no, we all do that, and candidates who go for tests and they keep thinking that, they don't fix it. They're just thinking, why does he keep doing it? Why does he keep doing it? And the one thing they never do is say to the person in the driving seat, why do you keep doing that?
yeah,
And it's as simple as that. Why does this keep happening? I don't know. Well, do you think it might be this? No, I don't think so. Well, should we try that and just see? Okay, if it's not that, it might be this, then let's try that.
yeah.
What about you looking here? Tell me when you're thinking about putting a brake on. What is it that's making you do that? What is it that's causing this? What's your thinking on your positioning here? I threw you the first one where I swan-necked the junction at the top there. But you spotted what the problem was. The problem was I was messing around with my gears. And I drifted past
Because I
the
actually thought you might be able to go round in second. I know you were in second, and I thought you could go round in second, but you did go a bit wide. Because you said I think you might need it first, but I thought you could have got round there in second.
I could have done. You're quite right.
And then you went. It's as if you went down. Because I do that sometimes. You forget what gear you're in, and then you go down to change. Oh, I'm already in second.
But the difference is, when you're doing that, you're still looking at the junction.
Yeah.
When I'm doing that as a learner driver, I'm not looking at the junction.
Looking at
I'm
that,
looking
so
the
that's
gear
why
movement.
you've shot
That's why we
forward.
went forward.
So
So you hit on it, it was the gear. Which gear were you thinking of using? Oh, right.
Yeah.
So ideally, you could have added then, so look what it's done to your position. Oh, right. But that's fine. It's fine.
Because at the moment I'm missing stuff like that.
Well, it's only natural. It's all new to you.
Because you're thinking of something else. You're thinking, oh, we're going to do this reverse part, and then you forget. Like that when you were going. When you were reversing back, I saw you looking in that, but I thought, did he do that on purpose? Did it?
Always.
Because sometimes
You
it's like
see
when
me
you-
drive, my driving's not slack.
when you're in a car park though, like this, you've been working here for years, you get used. It's like assuming again, there's nobody going to come back. I mean, it's like in your driveway. But knowing the times when kids are coming home from school and you might get a kid hiding behind your car
Yeah.
from his mate.
That's
You
right.
get-
So you'll never, if ever there's a fault, it's done deliberately. Touch wood. If you get to the point where you're starting to pull me up on faults that I haven't done deliberately, you're doing well. But at the normal run of things, I mean,
Sure.
my driving is,
I wonder do that well then.
what's he doing?
I don't know.
Interesting. So yeah, so that it's always on purpose that needs fixing. Anything you look and you think, oh,
Yeah.
that needs jumping on part 3 exam, because he's done it for a reason.
What happens then if that's what part 3 exam? That car will parked across because you pack your arm. Were you doing that in roll or were you just doing it to get him to
I
roll?
was still in roll.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if he's going to do anything in a roll, he'll go, I'm coming out of roll. So you
Because when you pap your arm there, well, that is that the right thing to do? Because
Well-
pap your arm is warning of your. Well, you were warning him that of your presence.
what could you have done there?
Oh, why did you think you had the need to pap on? You might
Well,
say,
I'm just alerting him to my presence.
yeah.
Fair enough.
And then he just stopped there, didn't he? Why did Paul McArdle walk out?
He was on his way up to the shop to get a sandwich.
I thought what a stupid place to park though, outside of a driving school place where it's obviously going to be cars coming in and out.
Yeah. Halfway across a junction that, by the way, has double yellow lines on it, but there you go. We've got him on camera. Good driver, bad day. Let's get him a cup of tea.